Yes. Oh, hell no. We ain't having no stickers on here. What up, nerds? Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie Smith, and on this channel I like to talk about all sorts of fun bookish related things, primarily in the science fiction fantasy categories, but I do enjoy horror, manga, and more recently, nonfiction. So if you're someone who enjoys reading in those genres, you've come to the right spot. So in this morning's episode of fun, I am going to share with you all of the books that I have either been sent, given, or purchased in the last month. Let's get into the physical books now. So I'm super pumped for this. Recently, I mentioned in a video when I was talking about doing my Wheel of Time reread, as I went through and read each book, I was going to replace it with the hardback edition because for the most part, I have the mass market paperbacks, but when this series came out and I was reading them as they came out, I was a little college kid. That was all I could afford. So when I said that, my bookseller saw that video and she messaged me and she's like, Leslie, we have a ton of the hardbacks on our shelves that are used. A couple of them are even signed by Robert Jordan. Give me a call if you're interested. Man, I ran for my phone to get these books. You just can't say no to hardback books that look like they have never been read. Every single book is in pristine condition. The dust jackets have absolutely no wear or tear to any of them. Now, I also have an extra copy of The Gathering Storm. I already owned that one in hardback, but I went ahead and got this one because I'm not gonna say no to a autographed copy of a hardback by Robert Jordan. Would you? No. I just can't get over how fortunate I was to pick those up. I got 7 hardback Robert Jordan Wheel of Time. They are pristine. The dust jackets are pristine. I mean, that is just awesome. So I love to do tag videos, and inevitably in most of the tags, one of the questions is, what is one of your most favorite bookish things or your favorite book? And so these babies actually showed up on the front doorstep yesterday. It is the leather-bound edition of The Way of Kings, and I'm in love. They're absolutely beautiful. They smell, oh, delicious. The font is much bigger. The page quality is so fantastic. I guess I thought they were just gonna have its original hardback guts on the inside. I didn't realize they were actually just redoing the entire book and just making it beautiful. So these are the first books I've ever just enjoyed the smell of the outside. Oh man. So next up, this one I actually won in a giveaway on Edward Lauren's channel. I was super stoked. He says this is one of his favorite books he's read. It's Providence by Caroline Kepnes. I'm not sure how to say her last name, but she is the author of the series that has now been made into a Netflix adaptation called You. I'm sure most of you have heard of them. You've probably read this book. I haven't. I've not read any of her stuff, but I have watched the Netflix show. I love the first season. I liked the second season. They really don't need to bring it back for a third season, but that's just my little humble opinion. So I'm excited to read something from a booktuber that I enjoy watching. When they say something is their favorite book, that just automatically gets my attention and makes me want to read it. I'm looking forward to reading this one. And it's my first book that I won in a giveaway, so that makes it extra special. Really funny because in talking about winning that in a book giveaway by Edward Lauren, I also picked up his book, Bay's Inn. I'll have E's channel linked down below for you, but he has several books out. I haven't read any yet, but I hit up one of my other friends, Kevin, off of Well Read Beard, which I'll also link below for you. I asked Kevin, I was like, what's your favorite Edward Lauren book? And he told me this one was his favorite so far of all that he read. So I picked that one up, looking forward to digging into that. Y'all know I love my indie authors. One of my favorite series I've read this year is the Nightmare Land Chronicles by Daniel Barnett. I've actually already read the arc for Sleepwalking. I have a review. I will put that up in the cards for you. So I got the physical copy of that. The artwork for this series is just amazing. Daniel Serra is just absolutely phenomenal when it comes to designing covers. He has a lot of really beautiful work. I'll link his site down below if y'all want to check him out. And then talking about this cover, keep an eye out on the channel. You may be hearing about book 4 very, very soon. Y'all knew this was coming. I read The Patience of the Dead Man by Michael Clark in October and absolutely was head over heels for it. It is my favorite scary book that I've read this year, maybe of all time. I'm gonna have to revisit some older ones that I read and reread them just to make sure. But right now, this one is my top of the list. The one that will be my benchmark that I will judge future scary reads against. But not only did I get book 1, I also got book 2 and 3. He does have all 3 books bound together in one volume if you're interested in getting the 3 together. I just loved the 3 singular covers so much that that's the choice I made for my collection rather than the whole big one. As usual, this is one I picked up because of a review I saw on Brad Proctor's channel. After I saw the review, Brad and I were chatting about it and he told me, he said, "I'm really interested to hear what you think about the ending. I'm really excited for you to read that." When Brad Proctor says something like that, it usually means there's spiders involved. So I am preparing myself for that and we'll see what happens, but I'm super excited to read it. So the rest of the stack are all books that I purchased from Copperfish that I plan to read in the next few months. I'm going to start with my November pre-orders. Lizzie takes wrapping books to the extreme. It's always an expression of art with her. I mean, what is this? Oh gosh. So glad to have my hands on this one. Jade City by Fonda Lee. This one is the one that my patrons picked for our buddy read for the month of November. I know Michael Nipp's already read it and he really enjoyed it, so I am really excited to get into this one as soon as I finish Sword of Kaigan. Okay, you're pleasant. You're not overpowering, but you're there. We got some Christmas cats for all you cat lovers out there. Oh, there's my baby. Rhythm of War. Man, I love that purple. Purple is my favorite color. Smells like the wood of Bridge 4. Okay, so yeah, I guess this one is my golden ticket. I feel like Charlie from Willy Wonka. Dying to get into The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. I just finished The Dragon Republic last weekend and woo, that ending. Woo, you're kind of a strong, heady scent. And my other very exciting read, The Fires of Vengeance by Evan Winter. So the dust jacket is a bit different material than most dust jackets are. Like, most of them are kind of the flimsy paper feel to it, but this one has a whole different texture. Digging it, digging it. Oh, you smell like Sharpie. Oh, yes, that smells so good. Next up, I picked up Ring Shout by, oh, I don't know how to say his name, P. Djeli Clark. This one came highly recommended to me by Lizzie, my bookseller from Copperfish. And she was just raving about it, and then she got me. Hey Leslie, we have signed copies from the author. That's a flavor. What's that flavor? So in preparation for when I finish Stormlight, I'm going to begin my Mistborn Era 1 journey. So I picked up the trade copies of Mistborn, The Final Empire, and The Well of Ascension. I also picked up Ready Player One by Ernest Cline in preparation for its sequel, which I also have on pre-order. It should arrive at the end of the month. I've never read this, although it has been recommended to me so many times over the years. I just kept putting it off. I did watch the movie though, but I've heard from the book readers that the movie was just quite terrible in comparison. I am not surprised by that at all. So I'm looking forward to reading this one next month and then following it up with the sequel. So next up, I got the Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Haro. So I read the 10,000 Doors of January by her earlier this year, and I absolutely loved that book. And one thing I really love about her books, she always does deckled edges, which I just love. I freaking love deckled edges. How do you not have a smell? No smell. I'm so sad. Well, at least I have deckled edges. I also picked up Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I've never read any of her stuff, but Lizzie, once again, read it, reviewed it, raved about it, highly recommended it. I picked it up. Glad I did. It's either January or February's Shelf Space Book Club pick, so I am already set. But let's give it the sniff test. Nothing. Man, y'all are some disappointing books. And finally, The Invisible Life of Addy LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I've never read any of Schwab's books, either her V.E. or Victoria stuff. This will be my first one. I think I picked a good one to start with because it seems to be everybody's favorite by her. Jessie from The Bookish Mom, I want to say that she mentioned in her video recently that V.E. Schwab has been writing this book for over 10 years. So that means it's a work of love, guys. I just can't wait to see what this woman poured into this book. But so many of my very dear friends have read it and loved it that I had to get it. I have to experience that love with them. So super stoked to read this one whenever I get to it. What is with none of these books having any sense? I mean, I am so disappointed with the lack of smell today. You know what? Let me just fix that. Let me just... Oh, gosh. So I finally reached into my pile. My goal was, I told myself, you know what? I'm just going to buy all the books that I'm going to read for the month of November and December and just be set for a while, not buy any more books this year. And well, I really kind of suck at it, don't I? Oh, wait, here's another one. There's this one. I can't show it to you because it has a secret mission for the month of December. With that, guys, I'm going to let y'all go. I need to get all these books up off the floor and onto the shelves and start plotting where I'm going to incorporate all these fantastic books into my reading plan for the next year or so. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these books or you're reading any of these books, hit me up in the comments down below or in Discord. Let's have a chat. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.